Hey, before the video starts, I just want to remind you guys that I do have an Instagram where I post exclusive videos. Check me out at Storytime with Jeff. And with that, on to the video. While I live in a very nice city that's primarily known for its sports team, and also its abnormally high per capita murder rate, but that's not something we need to talk about today, there's only so much to do before you start wondering why you haven't been shot at yet. At least, this is what our school thought when they sent our entire class to a neighboring city some 30 miles away to go look at art. Now, I have a general policy with road trips. Namely, I don't go on them if they're longer than 2 hours. To understand why, imagine I'm a small pile of fissile uranium-235. If you just leave me alone outside and let me do my thing, chances are I'll be okay. But if you jam me in a tiny metal box and shake me around hard enough for long enough, I'm going to get heated. But I wasn't expecting to get pressed like that on this trip because, according to Google Maps, the drive should have only taken an hour. Unfortunately for me, the bus driver wasn't going to have any of it, and had the wonderful idea of turning the trip into his personal sightseeing tour. So he drove straight through the heart of both cities during the morning and the afternoon rush hours, extending the total travel time to more than 7 hours. This was obviously a lot of fun, because with the lack of air conditioning and closed windows, the inside of our giant metal bread box felt like Chernobyl Reactor 4 on April 26, 1986. When the crockpot on wheels eventually got us to our destination, things didn't get too much better. I'm an uncultured swine, so when I go to an art museum, it usually goes something like this. Oh, that's a pretty picture. That's a nice statue, but why are his pants off? Why is there nowhere to sit? Can I touch this? Why is that guard walking towards me? Thankfully, we didn't spend all day in the museum. As lunch rolled around, teachers decided that they were sick of dealing with us and told us to do whatever we wanted as long as we made it back by 4. So I opened Yelp, found the closest fast food joint, and headed over there with my friends. Only when we got there, we found out that the rest of the grade had had the exact same idea and turned the restaurant into one big OSHA violation. Which was unfortunate because that meant that we had to walk another mile to find the next restaurant that we could actually afford. To make things worse, we ended up playing IRL Crossy Road on the way over because I didn't have enough patience to wait for the lights to change. When we finally got within a few blocks of the place, however, we were met with our final challenge, the Falun Gong. For those of you who don't know, the Falun Gong is a Chinese religious movement founded in the early 1990s. It's fairly similar to Buddhism with a sprinkle of Taoism, but in practice it's become associated with far right-wing politics, anti-evolutionism, conspiracy theories, and outright lying. At one point in the late 90s, Falun Gong practitioners even tried to become independent from mainland China, but the ruling Communist Party didn't take too kindly to that. As Falun Gong persecution increased in mainland China, many practitioners fled to other countries, including the United States. To garner support for their movement, they started peddling largely fake, sensationalist stories of how the Chinese government was killing practitioners en masse in secret camps and harvesting their organs, when in reality protesting Falun Gong were being deported to labor camps called re-education camps. Like, it's still not good, but get me, forced labor definitely isn't the same thing as organ harvesting. If you go to any major city, chances are you'll find 1 or 2 Falun Gong members trying to tell you these stories, which was exactly what we saw in the park between us and the restaurant. But this lady wasn't some sort of casual Falun Gong. She was prepared. She had somehow gotten a hold of one of those metal cot barriers and draped a Falun Gong banner over it, behind which she had set up a table flanked by 2 shelves full of flyers. She also had a cooler, chair, and a speaker for herself. I mean, she was stacked. So we had quite the predicament ahead of us. How do we go around this woman without being rude? As long as we passed through the park, she'd see us and come over to talk. We weren't going to go around the park because, honestly, we were all too tired and couldn't be bothered. So what to do? They say that necessity is the mother of invention, and that was certainly the case here, because as we were pondering our dire situation, Goner came up with the incredible idea that we should pretend to be communist sympathizers. That would keep her away. But how do we convince her that we were truly communists? Goner had us covered there too, because while he was studying Chinese, he had also learned some communist phrases, as one does. Here are a few. 没有共产党就没有新中国, which means without the Communist Party, there can be no new China. 红太阳一定要照亮台湾, which means the red sun must illuminate Taiwan. 学习毛泽东思想邓小平经济路线, which means diligently study Marxist-Leninist Mao Zedong thought, Deng Xiaoping economic theory. So naturally, when the woman got close, we politely told her that we didn't really want to talk. And after she insisted that we did talk and try to grab us, we broke out our new vocabulary. Needless to say, she didn't expect that. She froze up and watched us walk off to lunch, Although with the look she was giving us, I think she half expected us to be marching off to go annex Mongolia. When we got to the restaurant and finally dropped our stoic facade in a fit of laughter, however, we realized that someone was missing. Where was Bus? We were just about to start calling him when we noticed that there was indeed someone talking to the Falun Gong lady, and that somebody was Bus. Bus had sacrificed himself to an eternity of punishment so that we might be able to escape the Falun Gong. In fact, even after we finished our lunch and were heading back to the buses to leave, Bus was still there, nodding uncomfortably and trying to explain that he had to go. Some say that he is still there to this day. Thanks for the support recently, guys. It's been absolutely crazy. I know there's still a few questions floating out there about the channel, so I'll take this opportunity to address some of them. Upload schedule. I'm going to try and upload a YouTube video every week on Friday at 12 p.m. EST. If for some reason I can't do that, I'll let you know beforehand on my Instagram story. I'm going to make an Instagram story every week as well, but there's no set upload date for that. Those ideas really just have to come to me at the right time, you know? Discord server. So I've gotten quite a few questions about making a Discord server, and I'm going to save that one for 50k subs. Not just because I can't think of actual content to put in a 50k sub special, but also because I need some time to figure out how Discord works. Patreon. This is something that I need to think over a bit more. Obviously, I need money to pay for college, but I feel like your guys' money can probably be used to do better things than donate to some dude who makes MS Paint animations instead of actually contributing to society. I'll keep you posted on that one. Twitter. Yeah, I honestly don't know what people do with their Twitter. I have one at Jeff Storytime, but I have no clue how it works. I guess I'll probably be posting the same updates I do on Instagram on Twitter about content and stuff, so follow that if you want. I think that's probably it, but if you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment them down below. I'll read all your comments. Besides that, remember to like and sub, and stay safe out there.